10 a.m. Happy Monday. Welcome to Chicago Now. Caitlin's out sick today.
Yeah, I know.
And her household has been going through round after round.
She's told us, and those little things, they're just like, so especially.
They're Petri dishes,
yeah,
those little
they
things.
are.
They're cute little Petri dishes.
They're cute, and especially her bunch, but poor
How was the weekend, Gabby?
It was great. I obviously watched the Bears game and watched some other, football games. Felt like a football field weekend. Went to a networking event. What else did I do? Ate some good food. It was a good weekend.
There you go. You know. Big football weekend in the Ponce household as well.
Because you went on a special trip.
We did. We were not there at Soldier Field. We rode, my dad, my son and I, father-son, grandfather road trip. We're all IU fans.
Oh, yeah.
My dad went to IU, I went to IU.
What year did you graduate?
To the Peach Bowl. I graduated 2000. My dad is class of 71.
Love it.
We made the trip, the pilgrimage to Atlanta for the Peach Bowl, and watched Indiana win 56-22.
They killed them.
They absolutely dominated that game. Oregon had from the opening play. The very first play of the game was a pick six.
Wow.
By Indiana. That set the tone, and it was unbelievable. Long drive, it was raining, but I would say worth it. We can't afford tickets to the national championships, so this was our opportunity to see this team.
You know what? Sometimes, though, yeah, you can enjoy the atmosphere while you're there at the Peach Bowl, and then and sometimes your couch is kind of the front row.
Exactly.
You have all these different camera angles.
So
you can't really miss
we were
a thing.
cruising back through Indiana through the first 3 quarters of the Bears game on Saturday. We were still in the car, but we were watching it on our phones and tablets and stuff.
We're like, ugh.
Got back home in time for the whole 4th quarter.
Oh, man.
And I think that's a good segue. Yeah, exactly.
That
we
is
just got to watch the 4th quarter on the couch. And on that note, we have to loop into the conversation.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Mr. Eddie Farrer, Barstool Eddie.
Professional.
Eddie, this is the first time we have checked in on not just a Victory Monday, but a playoff Victory Monday.
Yeah, man. I mean, talk about the most insane game that I could remember. Definitely the best Bears game I could remember for sure.
Absolutely. There were so many elements to make this the best game. I mean, first playoff win in years. And then to have it be against the Packers. How sweet was this? What are your emotions on this Monday, Eddie?
I mean, listen, we've been talking all week about how we thought this would be the game where, the rivalry flips, and it was looking pretty gray there after the first half, and then to come back, and this team, like we've seen time and time again this year, they never quit, and then they pull one more out. So it was surreal. It was surreal walking out of that stadium and chanting Green Bay sucks, and it actually meant it. You know what I mean, Anthony? There was some meaning behind it. There was some this time.
It actually had some to it. All right, for you both, for you and Eddie, because I know, Eddie, we had you on last week with Caitlin. What were your guys' predictions before going into the game? Honestly, for some reason, I had this intuition, this gut feeling that they were going to win somehow.
I just knew it would be close and knew it would be a battle. But one of the things I asked Eddie about last week is, hey, how do we get the offense off the ground in the first and second quarter?
Yeah, they have to start fast.
And so the way the game played out, this is the pattern for this team. They start slow, and then they just make it. There's a reason everyone's calling them the Cardiac Bears.
Yeah.
Eddie, it was rinse and repeat for this team.
I don't know. I guess this is just the status quo at this point. I made sure I went to the bathroom. I went to the game. I went before the game. I could have just went in the first half because I didn't miss anything. It was a disaster. So this is it. I hope they start faster this Sunday against the Rams, but I don't have a ton of confidence that they're going to, right? So they'll come back in the second half like they always do.
So, part of what makes the Rams dangerous, they have some big names on their team, but also, they're healthy right now, it seems like. They have all their players. What do you think? Can the Bears do the same thing? Can they do their Cardiac Bears act, this same storyline with the Rams, do you think?
Yeah, the Bears can hang with anyone. I think it's going to be a track meet once again. Obviously, high-powered offense and for the Rams, but I think the Bears have a high-powered offense as well. You saw what they did in the second half there in the 4th quarter, really, to put up 25 points. The Bears' offense can hang with anyone, but can they get started quick enough? That's the problem. It looked like we weren't going to have enough opportunities, but thankfully we did because the Packers' offense was moving really slow and left too much time on the clock.
2-part question for you, Eddie.
25 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. No, they did the 4th quarter heroics. All right, 2-part question, Eddie. What surprised you most about the game? And what impressed you most about the game?
Well, what impressed me the most was obviously that 4th and 8 throw to Roma Dunze that really saved the game. I mean, Caleb rolling left, had someone at his ankles, just lollipopped it perfectly enough to a part where the Packers defender wouldn't get it. That's a play I watched on a loop about 1,000,000 times yesterday, Anthony. That I couldn't stop watching that. What surprised me, I guess, some of our coverage, I'm a little mystified by some of our guys in coverage right now. I like a lot of those guys, but it feels like they're not the same as they have been in recent years. So that was a little bit of a shock. But hopefully they get those guys get going.
Like coverage in the secondary? Is that what you're referring to? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get that kind of course corrected in time for next week.
Yeah. There's a few things. We would have been just our coverage would have looked so different. Obviously, if they would have lost, like how much stuff went wrong in that first half, especially if it would have been the turnaround. All right, with the Packers though, they went this far. They're talking a lot about Matt LaFleur too. What do you think on that subject? Do you think he stays with the Packers? Do you think they let him go? I know this would be your own opinion.
I'll tell you what, I turned on ESPN Milwaukee right after the game. There was some really sad fans, and it was music to my ears. So, they were calling for LaFleur's head. They were calling for McManus's head. They want a bunch of other guys gone. It was nice to hear that on the other side, and for us to be putting that them in that position. As a Bears fan, I think Matt LaFleur is a very good coach, so I hope they get rid of him. I don't think they should. I think he's a good coach. I mean, he kind of bungled this past game, but I think he's a good coach. I don't think they should get rid of him. But if they do, I think it's good for the Bears.
What do you think was up with the Packers in this game? What went wrong for them? I saw a lot of kind of smack talk online after this game saying, the Bears didn't win this game. The Packers gave them a gift. It was the Packers that lost this game, and the Bears got lucky. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would say, obviously, the kicker missing a field goal and the PAT, those were two big points of the game if you're talking just from a point advantage right there. I would say they kind of seemed like they took their foot off the gas, and I would say their defense just kind of softened up a little bit, and the Bears kind of figured it out. So it was kind of a three-phase situation from special teams, offense, and defense. And LaFleur, like I said, he kind of bungled the timeout situation there at the end there. They definitely wish they had more at the end.
Okay, looking to our next game. I mean, Los Angeles weather compared to cold Chicago weather that now we're expecting for Saturday or for Sunday.
Yeah.
That's probably going to make a big difference, right? Like, how much does the cold actually interfere with the playing once they're on the field?
Listen, I mean, Stafford's a veteran. Granted, he played in a dome for most of his career, but he's no stranger to outside games, right? I anticipate him being fine, even though it does sound like he has a little finger injury. So, who knows? But of course, like, they're not used to it. They're going to be a little uncomfortable. So this is where it'd be nice if the Bears could start fast and jump on them early, because they're not going to be used to it and they're going to have to settle in for a little bit. But like we talked about, Anthony, I don't know if that's just ever going to happen. It's just our destiny at this point.
Can you get me? Okay, I haven't really paid attention to the Rams this year at all. I'm familiar with Matthew Stafford. I remember his high octane offense when he was with the Lions for a while. What are some subplots we need to kind of look out for? Give us an idea of what this team's all about, their running game, their passing game.
Yeah, their offense is the real deal. Puka Nacua is a bona fide top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. He makes some catches that are simply absurd. They're simply absurd to watch. He's awesome. They also have Devontae Adams, familiar foe, longtime Green Bay Packer. He's older, but he's still really good. Good run game. Kyron Williams. They like to use their tight ends. They're a good offense. Like I said, think kind of how it was a couple weeks ago against the 49ers. I think it's going to be one of those track meet shootouts. So I hope the Bears bring their running shoes.
But they've also been known to have a pretty good defense this year too, right? The Rams, it feels like one of those teams that is good on both sides, of the coin, because we hear so much with the Bears, the defense wasn't doing that well for a while.
You're right. Their defense has been solid as well, but it's slipped up recently as of the last few weeks. I mean, look what they gave up on Saturday to Bryce Young and the Panthers. So there's definitely some spots of weakness that I think we could kind of key in on here.
Eddie, one of the things when I found out we were going to get to chat today that I kind of wanted to ask you about, because it was a low point for me, and I was telling Gabby I was driving through Indiana when this game was on, and I was behind the wheel, so I could only kind of glance and listen. My dad and my son were watching the game in the back seat. But one of the low points for me was when Ben Johnson went for it on that 4th down. Do you remember that? I think it was like a 4th and 4. It was in the first half, and they didn't convert. Do you remember that play?
Was that so? He went for it on a few 4th downs.
Yeah.
Was that the one that was Bears territory?
Yeah, exactly. It was in Bears territories. I think it was in the 2nd quarter, and I remember just thinking he made a gamble, did not pay off, and I was just like, that was maybe my low point. And I just want to get your reaction to that gamble in that moment.
Listen, I think really early on, once he saw what the Packers offense was doing to our defense, I think he realized, like, hey, we're going to have to keep going for it. The offense is going to have to win this game. So I think he was a little more ballsy when it came to, going for it on 4th down. In hindsight, I know a lot of people were a little critical of his first half, but hey, all is well that ends well. But yeah, everything that happened in the first half was something that we won't be remembering for a little bit, right?
It's very true.
That's right. Okay, let's just play hypothetical for a second before we let you go, Eddie. Is there a chance that Mike Kaplan was alluding this morning to the possibility of playing San Francisco or being matched up against San Francisco at some point in this playoff run, and that would mean 3 home games. What are your thoughts on that, and how big of a deal is having home field advantage here at Soldier Field?
Yeah, listen, as someone who went to that game Saturday and sitting on 300s, that stadium was actually moving. Like there was a point where I got a little nervous because it was rocking so hard, and then the whole stadium. I've never seen a Chicago arena so locked in on the action. Like, they do little side stuff on the Jumbotron. They brought back Hester and Urlacher, 2 legends, and they got the reception, but it was like, all right, thanks, Brian, thanks, Devin, but we got to focus on the game. So I think it's important. I think Bears fans are locked in. We all want this bad. So playing games at Soldier Field is a good thing because everyone's behind them here. Okay,
Eddie, and maybe Anthony, you could answer this too. What do you guys think is the number one changer from last season to this season?
Ooh.
Is it Ben Johnson?
Yeah.
Is it Caleb Williams just doing well? Like, is there one thing, or maybe something else that's changed that you think is like the number one reason why
I feel like it's the coach,
doing so well?
the locker room. Like I loved what I saw, the footage after from the locker room where Caleb Williams got he started to get a little choked up talking about Ben Johnson. To me, that says everything.
I think so.
And
too.
I think that, remember, Matt Eberflus last year, he just unceremoniously got dismissed. So I think, to me, if you got that locker room, if you have buy-in from the players like that, and you have the leader of the team and the coach of the team
respect you
like that, to me, that just trickles down everywhere. Eddie, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's been 100%. And what he's done with this team compared to last year has been absolutely phenomenal. But you know what? A different answer would be don't discount our rookies. We've had a really good rookie class. Colson Loveland, I think he's going to be a top 3 tight end very soon. Luther Burden's been great. Ozzie Torpillo just got hurt, but he's filled in nicely at left tackle. So I would say that'd be a secondary answer after the obvious Ben Johnson, because that is the number one answer.
Yeah, and we see the Lions kind of going downhill a little bit. Of course, they had some injuries and stuff, but since Ben Johnson left, maybe he's a secret sauce, Eddie.
Monungai's also kind of emerged this year. That's been a surprise, right?
Yeah, I forgot Monungai, too. He's part of the rookie class, too. He's been awesome. So,
Eddie,
really stepped in.
Let's keep the streak going. If we could be speaking under these circumstances at this time next week, let's manifest that, everybody.
The city will be shining.
I know it's a different feeling hopping on here and being happy on Mondays, but it's been nice.
You're the man, Eddie. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time as always, man.
Thanks, guys. Go Bears.
Go Bears. Bear down. Eddie Farrer, Barstool Eddie. Always good to talk to him on a Victory Monday.
It was cool. I will say, can I admit something? The first quarter I watched, right?
Yeah.
I sat down and watched the game. Things weren't going too well. So, and I was at a networking event, so it was kind of like turned into also like a Bears watch party kind of thing.
Sure.
So I watched the first quarter and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna mingle, do what I came here to do, right? And everyone started chatting and stuff. And then like clockwork, we're all joking. Oh, we don't have to watch the fourth quarter anyway.
Turned out to be true.
I was there for like a minute into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, no, this is getting good. I have to go home and like, watch the game. Like, love these people, but like, this is at home. Let's see.
Listen, I've done enough networking for the night. It's time to lock into the fourth quarter. And you know, this happened the following night. I did not stay up to catch the Golden Globes. I have not seen Jake in the newsroom today.
No, I haven't, because he's off on Mondays now.
Oh, that's right, because he's on a different schedule. Okay, so then now we know what he was doing last night.
But I did see some of the winners were movies that he had mentioned.
Yes.
So, you know, he's on
One battle after another, Hamnet. We, after this short break, we're going to check in with Extra TV's Mona Kosar Abdi. She actually got to interview a bunch of the winners.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the nominees and the winners at the Golden Globes. And this is really the award show and the event that sets the stage for the entire award season. Perhaps a preview for who is going to take home the all-important Academy Awards. So we're going to check in with Extra TV's Mona Kosar Abdi right after this short break. Stay with us. Happy Monday, everybody.
I was driving down the road and
Chicago Now. The glitz, the glamour, the celebrities.
The red carpet.
The red carpet.
Yeah.
Why didn't they invite us?
Natalie was saying that she really wants to go, and that our counterparts at Fox in LA.
Yeah.
It's one of the perks of the job. Not everybody, but like she was saying some of the anchors there will go.
And Natalie Bomke would be on that list. If we were to pick some people, she knows her stuff. Okay, well, the Golden Globes, of course, were last night. And we're talking about this latest batch of winners. And we're getting a recap with someone who was there to see it all. Extra TV's Mona Kosar Abdi. Hey. Thank you so much for joining us over Zoom. I'm so excited to hear about the outfits. That's one of my favorite parts. Of course, the winners too, because after I get the batch of who won, then I can go home and watch it. Sometimes it's you know, you never can guess what's going to be the award winner. And
Mona, you look really well rested as well. I'm impressed.
That is the glam team through and through, because I don't even think I got 30 minutes of sleep, let alone sufficient
my
sleep.
Goodness. Well, you know what?
But it was well worth it.
What was the vibe like?
You guys, I'm sorry?
What was the vibe like this year compared to last year?
I mean, it's Hollywood's biggest party, and what I do love about the Golden Globes, it brings TV and film together. And so what you see just a lot of people that you love, a lot of the shows that you love, and you get to binge, but you also get to see the movies that you can put on a short list, and it's also an early indicator of what's to come award season. And people are just having a good time, as opposed to the Oscars that are a little more stuffy, let's say. But if you guys are looking for anything to watch, one battle after another, and also Adolescents. Time and time again kept winning. Adolescents swept up the Golden Globes. Owen Cooper got his second award. He's only 16 years old. He is now an Emmy winner, a Golden Globes winner, and also the entire team got awards as well. And then one battle after another, we saw Teyana Taylor take home an award. The director also take home an award. So those two were definitely the standouts. And also Hamnet. We saw Jessie Buckley take home an award as well. She was a favorite in the category, and she ended up winning. A lot of people and a lot of buzz around that movie as well.
She was the one who played Shakespeare's wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct, yes.
Maggie and I saw that one. It was like,
good?
You needed Kleenex.
Really?
You need the Kleenex.
Right?
Mona, tell me a little bit about like your night. What kind of access do they give extra? Like, do you get to be in the room? Do you get to be on the carpet and then you watch from kind of like a like one of those auxiliary rooms? Like, what's the experience like for you?
Yeah, who have you been talking to? Because that's exactly our experience. So in the beginning, we do the pre-interviews as the celebs are walking down the red carpet. We catch them, we get their fit checks, the excitement, all of that. And then we go backstage, and we have a setup backstage. So as the winners collect their award, they go backstage, and we get to sit down with them. And so what's cool about that is, for example, the crew from Adolescents, Teyana Taylor, we got to talk to them on the carpet and just, you know, talk to them about the excitement of being there. And then when they won, you would think, right, that how confidently they walk up on stage and give their speech, that they thought maybe, you know, they were a shoo-in to win. But you should see how surprised they are. And we also get to see, for example, Rose Byrne called her husband from the backstage area. And so you get to see those emotional, touching moments where they're calling loved ones. Jessie Buckley finally got a hold of her dad, who was in who was overseas. I think he was in Ireland, and it was like 4 a.m. in the morning. And you could just hear her try to talk to him through the horrible reception. She was FaceTiming him. And so you get to see all of those moments, the excitement and the surreal look on their faces, the fact that they're holding a Golden Globe in their hand.
No kidding.
That's so cool. What an experience. How many is this? Are you like a veteran with this? Is this like old hat for you at this point?
It never feels like that. This is only my second Golden Globe. This is my third award season overall, but it's nice to see familiar faces, but I feel like each one is so different. You never know where the night is going to go, and you never know who you're going to talk to. Obviously, all new films and with the Golden Globes, TV shows nominated. But what's cool is I'm such a fan of TV and film, and so when I get a chance to check out these projects in preparation or just because I hear about it, for example, I will tell anyone who will listen to watch Adolescents. So to meet the crew, the cast members, it was just amazing. So yeah, it never gets old.
Okay, Mona, for people at home, including myself, what is the storyline, guys, with Adolescents?
Oh man,
I'm not remembering.
Mona, are you a parent by chance?
I am not,
okay.
But that's the thing. It created such a conversation. Like my husband and I, we don't have kids, but we were talking about what it's like to raise a teenager, and especially in this day and age with the access they have to technology.
Right.
In short, it's basically about a kid who, this is not giving it away at all, it's a kid who's accused of murder, and then as his parents find out all of the stuff that he's been up to, you realize that these kids are communicating through technology that we did not have, right? Social media, text messages, emojis, and each emoji means something. And so it talks about, you know, it just creates conversation around, do parents really know what their kids are up to, even as young as middle school?
So I don't watch a lot of TV. I got 2 young kids, Mona, and that was the one that I kept hearing about it. Like, you know, you got to watch it. So I did. I watched, I think it's 3 episodes. Is that right, Mona?
It's 4 altogether.
4 episodes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, 4 episodes. But Gabby, here's the thing. They're all, correct me if I'm wrong, Mona, but like they're a single shot with no edit, right?
You're not wrong at all. Yeah, isn't that incredible?
It's absolutely incredible. They're like hour-long episodes, a single shot, and the way they choreographed it using, I don't know how they do it with a drone but it is the most cool. It was, from that point of view, it was unbelievable. I'm not surprised to know that this like kind of ran the table, because I was so impressed by it. Yeah, it's serious subject matter, but amazingly executed. Mona, I want to ask you this. You mentioned like, this is Hollywood's biggest party. You never know what you're going to expect at the Golden Globes. I remember when like Ricky Gervais hosted it years ago. Nikki Glaser was a host. Can you speak to like some of the most memorable or awkward moments that kind of stood out? Because like, you know, when she gets up there, it's like, I can't imagine being in the, like a potential target for her.
She's out with the wolves, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's so good at it. I feel like she lands every joke. Now, whether or not the audience receives it, that's up to them. But I feel like she is such a professional. This is her second year hosting. They asked her back after she killed it last year, and I think she did a phenomenal job. A lot of people on the carpet were so excited to see to listen to her monologue and to see who she was going to pick out from the crowd. I will say the joke that kind of, you know, made us a little cringe a little, but it was all in good fun, was obviously when she took a shot at Sean Penn and said that while everyone in Hollywood is trying to get Botox and look younger, he's content with aging like a leather bag. Justice for Sean Penn.
I didn't see that one.
And then she also took a swipe at CBS too, which I thought was surprising. I'm like, isn't that the network that's hosting the award show? But her delivery is impeccable.
Wait, can you paraphrase what she said?
My favorite was the Timothy Chalamet joke. Sorry, what was that?
What was it? Can you, I didn't see the CBS comment. Can you, I don't know, paraphrase it?
Paraphrase it? I think she was just, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but she basically was just talking about some of the changes that are going on with CBS. So listen, everyone clearly was fair game that night.
You know what? You got to keep it real, and she does keep it real.
Yeah.
I will say. I remember last week we were talking about like things that she was gonna like not talk about, which was now of course I'm forgetting. Oh, like Botox and like, you know, work that has been done and stuff like that. So she kind of, you know, didn't mention it because she mentioned the other side of the coin, and then also like Wegovy and you know,
all the GLP-1s.
GLP-1s, thank you, stuff like that. How about
she poked fun at herself. She said that she, like Frankenstein, was put together by an unlicensed European doctor. I thought that was a hilarious joke.
She is funny. All right, how about Mona? Some upsets. Were there any upsets with any of the award winners?
I will say Michael B. Jordan didn't take home an award. I know he got beat out by Timothy Chalamet at the Critics' Choice Awards, but Sinners overall did win, and a lot of people rooting for Sinners. That's like, you know, when you talk about a project that's your favorite actor's favorite project, that I would say everybody's so happy about Sinners. We talked to a few of the actors that were in that movie, and they have such a close-knit friendship. We have a group chat, a Sinners group chat, and they're always cheering for each other. Miles Canton, who was a breakout star from that movie, won a Critics' Choice Award. And so they are happy with the success. I believe they won the box office award. But individually, we didn't see the actors take home an award.
Got it. So that was maybe in the, perhaps people looked at that one as a snub then, Michael B. Jordan not winning.
People are rooting for him. I mean, this is going to be a long award season for Sinners, and that movie, you know, broke records. People loved it. I personally really liked it, and so don't count them out just yet. Maybe at the Golden Globes they didn't take home as much hardware as people wanted them to, but look out for Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he's making strides.
That was Maggie's favorite of the year, was Sinners. And then Jake, our entertainment reporter, Mona, Jake Hamilton, he is all in on One Battle After Another.
I loved that movie.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it.
And so how did they do last night? You mentioned Sean Penn got a little, you know, something from Nikki Glazer. But how did One Battle After Another? Was Leo a target last night?
Leo was a target. I believe she said, I'm paraphrasing, but she lists his accolades and said that he accomplished all of that before his girlfriends turned 30. So that was a swipe at Leo, liking him young. But Sean Penn didn't win his category, but you know who did was Tiana Taylor, and it caught her even by surprise. Wow. I mean, if you saw her performance in that movie, I loved it. I will go back and watch it again. I'm not surprised that she won. She's been putting a lot of work into this industry. Somebody asked her on the carpet, they were like, how does it feel to be good at everything you do? Because if you know, she sings, she dances, and she's also an actress, and now she is a Golden Globe winner. And we caught up with her backstage. And that's one of those moments that I was talking about where she's like fresh from collecting her award, and you could just see the surreal look on her face. She was in awe of the fact that she won. But she went up there and she gave a beautiful speech, and she was FaceTiming her children as well and making sure that they were by the television watching.
What a cool moment.
So really, Mona, you are grabbing them as soon as they're
amazing.
receiving their awards.
Yeah.
That is so
She had
much
a piece of chicken in her hand and was just like, she was like, I haven't eaten all
We're doing
day.
this
Oh my gosh,
She
I
switched
can't
into her
imagine
slippers.
the junk food that I did after the
me too.
network. Before we let you go, Mona, real quick, looking ahead to kind of the Oscars here, do you feel like this is a accurate preview for what's to come? The same kind of short list of movies and actors and actresses are going to kind of sweep this award season?
I think so. I mean, one battle after another, I think, is going to go all the way. They won Best Picture twice, I believe, at the Critics' Choice Award and at the Golden Globes. And Sinners. I was surprised that Frankenstein didn't collect more awards, and that's probably because I'm a little biased. I loved Frankenstein, so I wanted to see Jacob Elordi get recognized for that. But I will say, yes, it is. It's a short list of what's to come and what we'll see at the Oscars down the road.
You have yourself a great award season. That's so cool that you're right in the mix there, and we appreciate your
Another one
time.
down.
I'm sure you're on fumes right now, and so we really appreciate you joining us here all the way from LA to Chicago.
Oh,
Appreciate
man, girl, you look good.
it. Yeah,
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Thank
Come
you
back
anytime.
anytime. Thanks,
I
Mona.
hear a Go Bears back
Go,
here,
but
by the
thank
way.
you. Yes, go Bears.
That's what we needed.
Thanks a lot. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to hit the local entertainment scene from LA. Local. You ever been to the Winnetka Music Festival?
No, I have not, but I need to.
They get some big names up there.
Oh, yeah.
It's no joke.
And one
We
is a
went this
pretty
past-
big jazz name this year, I believe.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
got
hear more
Trombone
about it.
Shorty.
Trombone.
Trombone Shorty. I've seen him live
Okay.
before. Where did I see him? I feel like I saw him at Ravinia one time.
This is close to you, so
Yes,
you can be there
that's why I'm a-
every
yeah, I'm a
single
huge fan.
person
They-
that takes on that stage,
They do,
Anthony.
yeah, they do a great job, and we are going to speak with the curator and co-founder of the Winnetka Music Fest to see what is their lineup is set for the summer. It's fun to think warm thoughts.
I know, that's what Caitlin says. Start thinking about camping. Start thinking about your summer trip.
Exactly.
It's coming, guys. It
Hey,
is,
you know what?
slowly
We are
but surely.
cruising through winter, though. We're
I will
already
say.
into January.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
As someone
we got
I
some
know
work
likes to
do, but
say, we're California of the Midwest. That's
California
certain
of the
someone I
Midwest.
know, yeah. But you know what? Sometimes I
Fresh coast, there it is.
at least now, and then the cold weather's coming, right time for the LA Rams to come
I
to
know.
Chicago.
Yeah,
It's gonna
with
be nice and cold
their
for them.
thin blood.
And then it's going to warm up for us again because that's what we need and we
That's what
deserve.
need. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more on the Winnetka Music Festival after this.
We do the job.
Winnetka Music Festival. It's coming back this June 19th and 20th. Anthony, mark your calendars, everyone at home as well. And there's some good headliners we're going to tell you about. Joining us is Val Hallard, co-founder and curator of Winnetka Music Festival and Val's List Music. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. How are you?
We are good. Where are you joining us from? What a gorgeous room you're in. Is that your living room?
That's my living room.
Oh my gosh.
We've had some music videos done in here. It's a very fun acoustic room.
Oh my, it looks like it's got amazing acoustics.
Ceilings.
And what is that, a Steinway behind you?
It's not a Steinway, but it's a grand piano. And whenever the bands stay here, which are many bands stay in our home, they all sit down at the piano and play. I don't play. I have letters on all of the keys for my grandchildren. So these great bands sit down and they're like, oh, we've got all the letters notified.
You're not a grandmother. There's no way.
Yeah, I am. I wear a lot of different hats. And I've been doing this music thing. I'm probably the oldest woman in the music industry. I don't know, but I'm proud of that.
Well, you're clearly bringing in some great talent. I was at this past year's festival with a big group of people. We absolutely had a blast. And I understand you guys have something really awesome to mark 10 years. Tell us what's in store for the festival goers this summer.
I know. Well, thank you for allowing me to announce 30 minutes before it goes public. We're going to announce the lineup today at 11. So I'm going to reveal a couple of things. It's our 10th year anniversary and we're so excited. We have a couple of bands that I've wanted for 10 years and we've never been able to get them. So for starters, as you already mentioned, we have Trombone Shorty on the list. He's a New Orleans trombone player. I keep saying he's sort of like a cross between Lenny Kravitz and the old 70s band Chicago. So his live shows are an absolute spectacle. I saw him at Bourbon and Beyond this fall, and it's like a marching band on the stage, but he's super gorgeous and hot. Half the time he wears a tank shirt, and he's just going around the stage, and he's got backup singers and other brass players on stage, and it's absolutely the most gorgeous dance party you've ever seen. And it's different because I love to bring brass and a horn section to our festival. He's played at the White House a few times, Grammy nominated, award winning. He's worked with John Batiste. So we love bringing intelligent programming like that will knock your socks off. So that's number one.
Okay. Anyone else that you can give us the exclusive on who's going to be there this summer?
Yes. So another headliner this year is Father John Misty. He's an alternative indie rock, another sensational live show. He has 7.5 million followers on Spotify. He's critically acclaimed, Grammy nominated also. He was formerly with Fleet Foxes and he was the drummer, but his current profile now with Father John Misty is more of an alternative rock set. He dances around the stage. This is going to be a very energetic year.
Yeah, sounds like it.
He's got a huge fan base, and people are going to be so psyched to hear that he's on the lineup. He may not be as much of a household name for the basic fan, but we're so psyched to get him this year. Another one, if I may mention a few more, Grace Potter. I have wanted her for 10 years. She's an absolute rock goddess. She's not new. She used to be with her band Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. She plays guitar. She plays a Gibson guitar. She comes out in stilettos and mini skirts, but she's from Vermont, so she ends up the show in bare feet. She's absolute songstress with killer vocals. She's like a cross between Tina Turner dancing up there and, she's been aligned with like some other artists like Hart Ann Wilson, Janis Joplin, Bonnie Raitt. So she's going to be super exciting to have. And the guys are going to go crazy and the women are going to go crazy with Grace Potter. So we can't wait for her. And then one I'm so excited about, because it's our 10-year anniversary, I thought it was really important to try to bring a hometown artist to our stage. And we've got a lot of artists who are famous now who came from our local high school. Fall Out Boy, Muna, Liz Phair, K-Flay, Louis the Child, so many like that, and also Mike Bloomfield from like Newport Folk Fest back in 1965. But this year we've landed Petey USA, and I honestly think this kid could sell out our whole festival. People are going to go crazy when they find out that he's on the lineup. He has become super famous. He's also does a comedy bit on TikTok, and that's probably what got him noticed over COVID, because he does these really funny bits. But he's also a massive musician. I know him personally, and he's a savant musician. He can play every instrument. He plays by ear, and he is sort of like emo, indie rock, punk, electro pop. He has a rabid fan base. He sells out all of his shows, and every fan is in the audience like going like this and singing every lyric with him. So as soon as people hear that Petey USA is on our lineup this year, it's going to go crazy. The other thing that's really fun is one of his best friends from high school, Will Crane, is his manager, and those two went out to LA after college and tried to make it, and together they're the ones who created this brand that now has like 5 million followers and a million, so Petey USA, we're so excited about.
So
I've heard of him. That's so awesome.
So he and Will, they're new Trier grads, is that right?
They're new Trier grads. They're my son's age. I have 4 sons, and they're my twins' age, so I think they're like 34. And fun side note with Petey, he's so humble and almost self-deprecating. He gets on stage, and he's sort of just like, and then he starts doing his thing, and you completely understand why why the fans are sort of obsessed with him. He's so real, and I just think he's going to be a huge surprise on our stage. And one of the things I really think is important for me living up here and bringing a festival to the suburbs is I want to make it comfortable and approachable for the basic fan, but I also want it to be super impressive for the super fan. I want them to discover somebody they don't know, and I want to push the envelope a little. I think a lot of people think in Winnetka or on the North Shore we might just get like, proper jazz bands only or something like that, but I really want to bring in the punk, the emo, the electronic, and bands that'll sort of knock your socks off. And you might say that's my new favorite band.
This is so cool.
I love
you must be so proud. 10 years.
10 years, I can't believe it. We launched it from, my business, Val's List, is 17 years old. I started as a playlist business. Then I started to invite the artists on my playlist to sing in my living room. Not this living room, but we used to pack people in. It was this whole underground thing. It was before social media. It was all word of mouth. And I would have bands, if they were playing downtown Chicago, I would invite them up to the suburbs, and thinking they'd laugh at me, but they all said yes. We like the intimate listening shows, and we still do those. We do them every month in the Winnetka Chapel. We pack the house with like 250 people, and we bring bands in. The concerts are $5, and we just tell people, please fill the tip jar. So we raise a lot of money for these bands. They sleep in my house. I'm sort of like a mom and a music promoter and whatever else. And we're so lucky too, because 3 years ago we partnered with Space Evanston, which is like it's just the most beautiful, respected, legitimate music brand, I think, in the whole country. And they own Thalia Hall and the Salt Shed and Empty Bottle and Space Evanston. They became our partners, and so they do a lot of the heavy lifting for us now, but I get to book with their team, which is like a dream for me. And it's really fun because I go in with my list of like 100 bands I want for our festival, and they can tell me immediately like how much this band costs, and are they playing Lollapalooza and this and that. And I think back to when we first started, when we used to book by ourselves, we did not even know what we were doing. We would contact booking agents and try to say, hi, we're this new festival, in the suburbs, take a risk on us. So yeah, we've come a long way, guys.
It's an absolute blast. I went for the first time this past year, and you guys have had some huge names over the years as well. All right, before we let you go, Val, I want to have you comment on the atmosphere and kind of what it's like out there. A lot of people hear music festival, they think, maybe like Lollapalooza or Coachella or some big empty field. We see trees around there. There's tents. But what is
kids.
there's kids there in that one shot. What is the atmosphere like at Winnetka Music Festival?
Well, what we want to do is we want to bring sort of the Lollapalooza, Coachella, legitimate vibe and acts up to a comfortable setting. So when we launched the festival, the first thing I came with was a list of all the things I hate at regular festivals. So lines that interrupt other traffic flow, and, you know, beats that are so loud that the whole place shakes and things like that. So we started with an elimination list of what we weren't going to be. And we basically want to be a safe, family-friendly, but cool, hip factor, legitimate fest that's not too much, not too loud, that just allows you to sort of step back into the music, live music, if you've lost track a little bit, or keep going. Or if you're a young parent, we have so many young parents up here now who maybe aren't getting downtown to live music all the time. We want them to know we've got you. Like, just step out your back door. We're bringing that downtown fest up to the burbs. So that's basically what we're trying to do, and our mission has never changed. And we're not trying to always bring in all the big headliner names that everyone already knows. We're really, really about music discovery. So my team and I spend a lot of time on the bands we love that we know are ready to break, because we want people to leave and to be able to say next year, when there's somebody playing Lala, like, I saw them last year.
Yep.
Like, I already knew that band. So there's a big music discovery piece of it. And the last thing is, we're a very artist-centric, artist-first company, and so is Space. So we treat the artists like human beings. We sort of cater that to them. We want our fest to be like a concierge oasis fest for them, because they're all exhausted on their summer tours. They're on the road, they're road weary, and so a lot of the bands stay at host family homes, and we feed them. We let them swim at our beach. You know, we're taking care of them. I remember last year I ran a bunch of beach towels down to one of our bands, you know, because they were like, we're diving in the lake, and we're like, so we'll be right there. So
it's in June. June 19th, June 20th. This is awesome. Thank you so much for the special preview.
Wow, you are cool.
I know the big, yeah.
You are cool, yes.
But you know what? I hope you both come. We'll give you VIP.
Oh.
We've got great VIP, and the tickets go on sale to the general public this Friday.
This Friday?
At
This
11 a.m.
Make your
Two-day
plans.
tickets are for sale.
Come up.
Awesome.
With your man.
Come
You
up.
got it.
You and Brendan.
date.
We'll double date. We had a great. We
Double
went in a
date.
group last year,
yeah.
and we had a blast.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
all speaking
We had
our
an
language.
absolute blast.
It looks beautiful.
Val, congrats to you. Announcement goes live in 14 minutes, and yeah, tickets go sale Friday. This is June 19th and 20th, correct?
June 19th and 20th, we're always Father's Day weekend, but we're not Father's Day. We're the Friday night and then all day Saturday. We have
Beautiful.
a kids
Kick it off
stage,
right.
a chapel stage, and two main stages.
Can't
So I'm
wait.
gonna look for
Congrats
you.
on 10 years, and we'll
cool.
be checking back in with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Val.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
that
we're
sounds
gonna.
like a blast.
Oh, come up for sure. It's so fun.
I'm sold.
It's super fun. We're going to take a quick break, but do you remember getting the Happy Meal from McDonald's when you were a kid?
Yeah,
With the toy?
excuse me, I still sometimes get the Happy Meal.
I will say it's a good deal.
You're not that hungry.
My
You
kids
just
love
get
it,
a little
and
Happy Meal.
it's still. I don't think the price has changed since we were kids. It might be like a few cents more, but you still get like the mini fries.
It's like this
You get
big.
the. You get the the apple slices.
Yep.
The toy. Now the toys aren't what they used to be. You could get like
No, they're
full
probably
like
not.
Power Ranger
Yeah.
action figure back in the day. Now they're a little I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is some. We're going to get to our trend. The reason I bring this up is because we're going to do trending stories after the break. One of which is the $29 adult Happy Meal, which is being sold at one restaurant right here locally. We'll tell you about that and our other trenders when we come back after this.
Injured at work? I'm attorney Chris Cooper, and I
imagine this, Anthony.
Okay.
You sit down, you have a glass of Veuve Clicquot, yellow label, or Belvedere martini, so already fancy, but you get it with gourmet sliders and golden fries. But not only are they just golden fries, they also are flavored, so either truffle, or I think it's truffle and Parmesan.
Oh, it's the best. With
And
little...
for $29. Well, it's called Morton's Bubbles and Bites, so this is that adult Happy Meal that we're talking about. And you know, it's not
Fried
Happy Meal.
January.
It's not necessarily Happy Meal price at McDonald's because it's a level up, guys. So it's $29 adult Happy Meal at Morton's Steakhouse at all locations, but it's technically while supplies last.
I'm
while you
kind
go
of
there.
loving this.
I know, me too.
I'm kind of loving that
two
right
smash
there.
burger sliders or two fried chicken sliders. So maybe you don't like the beef. You can get the chicken too. But yeah, they have the Parmesan and truffle matchstick fries.
It's like comfort food on steroids. It's like, you ever had those fries with like a nice like garlic aioli sauce?
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Say less.
I mean, your heart's not gonna like it, but I'm liking that.
I'm liking it too.
'Cause, like,
we're
you know,
looking
you
this
think
way 'cause
Morton's-
it's a huge monitor, so we can really get the full
Right.
full look at the body of everything.
But like, if you do date night at Morton's, you're not walking out of there spending less than $200 normally
I've
with
actually
drinks.
never ate there.
I think I have once, maybe, on a special occasion, but that makes it like accessible.
See, and for me, Anthony, to be honest with you, maybe it's just because like I'm not like. Maybe it's because I'm not that cultured, right? I don't know. Sometimes I think, but I like good food,
That
right? But I like food that's like attainable, you know,
Yeah,
like that's nothing
accessible.
too fancy. Yeah, accessible.
I'm with you.
Like if it's,
I'm totally with
if
you.
it's like a small plate and it's like really, really crazy with a bunch of different ingredients, I don't know if I'm really that interested in it.
No.
Especially like if I'm spending my own money on it, not knocking any like fancy restaurants or anything, because I think it's really awesome, and if you're a foodie and you like that kind of stuff, it's great. But like I'd rather just have a good burger and fries.
I'm kind of with you.
Or like
a lot of like those tiny little fancy dishes where you haven't heard of any of the ingredients, you can't pronounce any of the ingredients, so it's largely lost on me.
Yes.
I mean, I will have it and it'll taste good, but I won't appreciate it in the same way that like a true foodie will.
Yeah.
So you and I would get along well, Gabby. I like the looks of this one. So there you go, Morton's, and they're calling it Fried January. By the way.
And you have to mention though, Bubbles and Bites though if you do go.
You have to mention Bubbles and Bites.
Yeah. Let's get the details right, people. Fried January.
While supplies last, please mention Bubbles and Bites when making your reservation. Okay. All right, so there we go.
But here's
Morton's.
the thing, I am so hungry right now, so that looks extra delicious.
Okay, well then we'll switch
Curvature
gears.
of the burger.
The curvature, the texture.
Just looks delicious.
I'm with you, Gabs. All right, here's something
is a touchy subject
that
for
affects.
Anthony.
Yeah, this next one is.
Yeah.
All right, I want to show everybody a math problem, okay?
Okay.
All right, take a look here. This is a basic arithmetic, all right? The problem is 3,107 plus 3,728. All right, so this, you're looking at a screenshot of my child's homework, okay?
Okay.
And the reason we're bringing this up is because the methods on how to solve basic arithmetic have changed. All right, so you're looking at how Gen Alpha solves basic arithmetic. Now, I'm used to doing, hey, you know, with that, the problem, it's all the way on the top left of your screen right there.
Yeah.
7 plus 8, 5, carry the 1, you know what I mean? Drop that thing down.
So they don't
Boom,
do that
boom, boom.
anymore?
No. All right.
Okay.
So there's all these different methods now that you have to learn, and this is just an insight into how they are changing the process. Now, you see the word friendly number?
Yeah.
You got to make it into a friendly number. So do you see the process there? Start from the left, upper left.
Okay.
So you make that 3107 into 3000 by subtracting 100 and then 0, then 7. Now, and the same thing with the 3728. You break it up into sections. So it's 3000 plus 700 plus 20 plus 8. You see that? Goes from left to right. Now, you break it up into easier, what they're called friendly numbers, and then so you break up the arithmetic problem into 4 separate easier problems, and then you bring it back all together to get the right answer, which is 6835.
Why?
So that's the friendly number approach. Then there's the give and take to make the numbers friendlier, Gabby. And I see the look, like it's the slack-jawed look on your face, and that's.
Is this a joke?
No, it's not a joke. This is real. Because this is what they're doing to solve the problem now. And so I have had to re-educate myself on not solving the problem, because I can do that. I have to educate myself on actually how to work my way through this stuff. Because
he's not going to be tested on the standard edition algorithm.
I mean, in the homework, they always say show your work. But I would love to hear from any other Gen Alpha parents that are dealing with this too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because we just learned the process to get the right answer. What I'm told by the teachers is that it's not just about getting the right answer anymore. It's about creative problem solving. It's about the process. You know that cliche, life is a journey, not a destination?
Yeah.
Math apparently now is a journey.
The poor Gen Alphas.
It's not a destination like it was for us. They really want you getting creative in how to solve different problems. So it's
a friendly number.
A friendly number.
I like friendly things. I don't know if I like the friendly.
So you make it into a friendly number. You make them all into friendly numbers. You add those friendly numbers up, and then you get to the answer.
This is just reminding me of something. So not only do you have the child, right? This is someone with no kids.
Yeah.
Have the child.
Yeah.
You have them, keep them alive for all these years, and then finally when they're able to kind of keep themselves going. Then, boom.
You hit
no
with
more
this.
wiping the behind.
No.
Now you have to actually new math problem.
I'm like,
what?
Theo, not only did I wipe your butt, but I relearned this with you.
Are you keeping calm though, or are you getting?
Do I look calm?
Angry?
To you,
No, you don't look.
Do
calm.
I look like a relaxed?
As soon as we said math.
No. I'm not a calm guy right now. No. It's fine. It's just one of those things where I have to do, it's the extra legwork to help to help these kids thrive.
Have you talked to the teacher about this?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
And then, you know what they send? The reason I even have that screenshot is because they send this week's homework parent guide.
For you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's for us too.
I feel like they didn't do that as when we were kids.
No, definitely not. Definitely
not.
not.
I don't remember that being an option for my parents. And
anyway,
it was a screaming.
I do wonder if there's other parents out there that can sympathize with what I'm going through. And if you got younger kids, get ready. You are going to have to relearn how to do basic arithmetic.
You'll want to keep them in the diapers.
Speaking of not remaining calm, before Gabby and before I sign off, because you're staying for another hour. Speaking of not being calm at all, this hit TikTok right after the Bears won on Saturday night.
And it's snowing.
Did they win?
The reaction was crazy.
Oh my gosh! I could
Confetti,
I could watch
screams.
that on a loop. People picking each other up there. You look at young kids.
Oh, what great
what a
memories
moment
we made
for
this
Chicago.
weekend. Thank you so much, Chicago Bears.
Oh, exactly. Thank you,
really
Caleb
did it for
Williams.
us.
Thank you, Ben Johnson. Thank you, GJ. Thank you, the whole team. Because we have not experienced this magic in way too long.
We haven't.
Bear down.
It's here. And I can't wait for you to hear Tia's story, how she ran.
I'll be standing by. I'm going to switch spots with Tia during this commercial break. We've got another hour of Chicago Now right after this. Bear down.
Fox 32 Chicago. For
right, here we are at 11 o'clock. The sun is shining, Tia Ewing.
Yes, it is. Wow, I didn't even realize it.
I told the audience just a little bit ago, I said, you need to see Tia Ewing's
what did
response
I do? What did I do
to
now?
the Bears win.
Oh,
you
man.
went on a little trip.
Well, let's back it up. Okay, so when I was watching the game, I went on a lot of trips. My blood pressure went up. I lost my mind. There were a lot of
Your
trips
husband
during
was probably losing his mind.
the Bears. So at one point, I was like, forget the Bears, forget Caleb Williams. I'm sick of this. I was
You
done.
were done.
I was done. I was like, they should have made me suit up. I could have done a better job. And then I remember, oh, yeah, they are called the heart attack Bears, for a reason, cardiac Bears for a reason. And that last quarter is when they really showed up and showed out. And so I was like, you know what? If the Bears pull this off, I'm going to run outside of my house as is. And I had on like a little shirt, a little half shirt, and I put my tennis shoes on and I ran down the street.
And the girl was gone.
But my neighbor probably will never speak to me again, because as soon as I hit the sidewalk, she was out there bringing her garbage cans in. I'm sorry to my neighbor. I wasn't expecting her to be there, and she wasn't expecting me to run out full force in the middle of nowhere, because we kind of live in the middle of nowhere. And she looked at me like, is everything okay? I'm like, the Bears just won. And then I just, gallivanted on, so.
You know, it's funny, though, because it reminded me of then I shortly afterwards saw a TikTok of someone else doing the same thing, but like in a more crowded neighborhood with his son, and someone called the cops on him.
That's
it was like, there's this guy running
like, what are they doing?
Yeah, and the girl had commented in the comments saying like, oh, sorry, I thought like something was seriously wrong with you. I didn't
Makes sense.
realize it was the Bears. But you know what? If there was no context, I would agree.
Think
like,
the
how
same
would you know
thing.
why is everyone screaming at the top of their lungs?
That was a really
incredible.
amazing game.
It was a storyline that needed to happen. Like
Absolutely.
it needed to start off that way and it needed to end that way for the city of Chicago.
What's crazy is that as I was watching it, I told my family, I said, the only way the Bears will win this, they need a miracle from God at this point.
They do.
And I said, but here's the reality. God performs miracles every day. And so if they win, it is literally a miracle from God. So I was already a believer, but I'm really a believer now.
He did it for us.
He did it for us. That was crazy.
That was crazy, Tia. I was telling Anthony that I was at a networking event, technically, that kind of turned into a Bears watch party.
Okay.
We're all watching the first quarter, like, pretty intently. And then, like, once things started going downhill, we're like, all right, you know, let's do what we came here to do. Let's talk and stuff. And then it got to the fourth quarter. It was a minute in, and I saw that they're doing better. I'm like, this is the storyline that, like, will go on. And so I was like, I got to get out of here, and I got to watch it at home.
So what's crazy is that my husband wanted to go to the game, and I completely talked him out of it for a few reasons. I said it was going to snow ridiculously. That didn't happen. And then I said, well, look, they're losing. See, you would have wasted your money, and then they won. So, yeah, I regret not
like
going now.
A little
dig.
Knife, yeah.
Yeah, but, hey, they're going to play the LA Rams. Is that correct?
And you know what?
They're going to win.
They're going to win. I just have a weird gut feeling. And you say that, everyone at home's like, you know, this
I do. I think they're going to win.
We're paying attention. It's nice because, like, right now the weather's okay, but then come this weekend, it's going to be very winter weather Chicago.
Look how beautiful it looks right now, and especially for people that have been playing in LA. They're going to be like, what the holy heck? Their bodies are going to be in shock. So I think we got a chance to kill them.
I asked Eddie from Barstool.
Okay, maybe not kill them. That's a little aggressive. Beat them down.
We still want God on their side,
yes.
right? Because Eddie from Barstool was on in the 10 o'clock hour, and I asked him, I was like, how much really will, like, the weather impact the Rams?
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know, Stafford, he is a seasoned pro.
Great for him.
He's been outside before. But I'm like, no, you know, with that little finger injury he has or whatever happening with his hands, he's going to be back. But I'm like, well, maybe it's going to hurt a little bit more.
Yep. That cold, when that cold hits you and you've been injured on any type of joint, any type of ligament, you feel it. So I hope it works in our favor. Okay, I know that's harsh to say, but listen, I'm here for blood, so that's where we are. Yeah, it was definitely great, and you know what? I think we will win. But even if we didn't win, the feeling of community for so many people coming together, even the next day, Sunday, running into people. People have their Bears gear on. You're not with your head hanging down. You got a reason to be proud. It's something to talk about. One of our security that works in this building is a Green Bay Packers fan. Yeah. And when I saw him, I said, "Whoa, we beat your butt." You know, it was so good. So good to be able to do that
buddy.
finally.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
But also,
I'm not sorry at all.
No. But also, like, it's just like, it's nice to see that we've switch gears now, and then now we can look forward to something. You know, with no matter what happens, like now we can see that Ben Johnson's on our side, Caleb Williams on our side. Like things are changing. The locker room, the atmosphere, and that's what tell you that culture matters.
Yeah, Ben Johnson has done his thing with this team. Got to give him up to that. Okay, let's talk about what's coming up on our show. This one is crazy, okay? A local comedian is taking one for the team and reviewing public bathrooms around Chicago. I mean, can you imagine what she's walking into? I've walked in and walked out of some of these bathrooms. We're talking to her about her journey. We're also talking with a local couple who actually own a house that's about to be featured on HGTV, but it's not for good reasons.
Well,
although it doesn't look bad to me at all. They say it's like one of America's ugliest houses. I think it actually looks really beautiful. And then we're talking to Taja from the hit show Members Only Palm Beach. I got to watch this. I binge watched what I could, and I was like, man, they got something with this show.
They do.
They do.
And actually, we have a little clip to play that gets us started. It gets us familiar with what this show is all about.
So that is the Netflix trailer that you're looking at right now. Members Only is set in Palm Beach. A very interesting show. I love the fashion. I love the homes. Everything about it is absolutely stunning. Let's bring in Taja, who is definitely a person to watch. That's her right there with the dark hair. Thank you so much for your time and being with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We love to see you.
And you're so fabulous already. So is this the first season of the show? You know what, for people who aren't familiar at home, maybe this will inspire them to go home and watch this season. You know, what is it all about? Are we just following kind of like moments in your guys' lives or a lot of your lives?
I think you get, you know, a good idea about all of our lives. You know, it shows our social circle. We each show a little bit about our, you know, family life and, you know, behind the scenes of the world of Palm Beach. And, you know, it's very entertaining, to say the least.
It is a lot of entertainment. Taja, someone that maybe hasn't watched this just yet, why would you say they should watch it? You know, we've already been familiar with a lot of these like reality shows. What makes your show so different?
Well, I think that our show is, you know, really like light humor. It's not, you know, too much drama, too much fighting, too like, you know, violent or toxic. It's actually funny. You know, it's very, like, you can't stop watching. It's like a train wreck that you can't stop watching, but like not too bad of a train wreck.
Wait, I kind of love that, because part of the reason I say that, like, I stepped away from reality TV is because like it just became so toxic. Like there was just so much fighting, as you said. You know, they couldn't sit down for a conversation without like you know, getting at each other, and it's like, all right, well, that's not a good representation of like females, right? And like some of these friend groups. So I appreciate that, and that you guys are trying to shine light somewhere else. Like your fashion, that's the first thing I look at when I saw that trailer. Like, tell me, walk me through your outfit choices and stuff, and does everyone kind of have their own style? I love it. He's like trying to cover
some cleavage.
No, show it, baby.
Yeah, you know, one thing I love about living in Palm Beach is that we have so many events going on all the time, like event after event after event, and we get to, you know, dress up in ways that, like, nobody dresses like us. Like, you don't dress like that in New York or in LA, or, you know, it's only in Palm Beach that we get to wear these colorful hot pink and bright green and bright yellow outfits. You know, this doesn't go anywhere else. So that's what I love about it. It's so colorful. The show is so colorful. The outfits are so colorful. The scenery is so colorful. It's just, you know, it's you can't stop watching.
One thing I love about it is that you obviously celebrate wealth on the show, and I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's a positive to talk about the fact that, you know, there are some powerful women on this show that have money. I do want to ask you one thing about a rumor that's out there circulating, and it's about Rosalind getting her booted out of Mar-a-Lago. Is there any truth to that at all?
You know, honestly, I don't really know. All I know is that there is a way to behave when you are, you know, a member of these clubs. And, you know, I'm not saying that she doesn't behave right, but if you don't, then you pay the price.
Yeah, and it's an expensive price too. I was shocked to know that to be a member, the starting price for Mar-a-Lago, $1.5 million, I believe is what I saw when I watched the show. I wanted to ask you, have you ever run into President Donald Trump or even Melania Trump, being that this, is a members only? It's at Mar-a-Lago. They have an estate there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Trumps, I've been seeing them everywhere because, I said, like, my son attended the same school as his son. I see him at Yankee games. I see them at, their resident at Mar-a-Lago. Like, I see them, we cross paths a lot.
I feel like there's so many people at home, like including myself, like we're so kind of like far away from this world. Would you say like watching the series gives someone kind of that feeling that they're also, rubbing around with some of these like really, really wealthy, famous people?
Definitely. It is, it's, aspirational. And I just think that it is really a fun show to watch. It's so entertaining and it's so much fun. And it's just like it's what like reality TV should be.
I want to ask you, because a lot of times we see what happens on camera. I'm curious if anything crazy or wild has happened behind the camera that you can talk about that maybe didn't make it into the edits of the show.
We did have, a lot of very funny things, because we shoot thousands of hours and there's only so much that can, make it to the, the cutting room, right? So there were a lot of fun scenes that didn't make it. But let me think of something crazy. I don't know. I mean, there were actually so many that I can't really pinpoint one. But if we get a season 2, which our fingers are crossed, I think you got to keep watching because you will see, a lot more happening.
You know what? That was going to be my next question. What do you think about season 2? Seems like hopes are high.
Yeah, I think that we are, we're very hopeful. And, we'll hopefully we'll know very soon.
Was there any apprehension on, showcasing your life? We've seen where a lot of people are like, the problem with sometimes reality TV is, you open the door and then you open the door to everything. Was there anything on your end you were like, well, I kind of do want to do this, but maybe there are some parts of my life. I know in some cases, some reality stars, they don't want their husbands or their kids necessarily to be shown. Was there any apprehension on that side for you?
No, I always wanted to be. I'm a very open, real person, and I've always wanted to put my life on display, for many reasons because, I think I'm funny and entertaining and, I want to, build my brand. And I actually trusted the producers to show me in a good light. So I was not apprehensive at all.
I like that. Would you say that a lot of people, like maybe in your circle, did this surprise you? Maybe some folks who said no or weren't asked even? Like what's kind of the word around your circle of the people who aren't necessarily on the show?
I think it's interesting because you never know how somebody's going to come off on camera, on TV. It's very interesting. It's like it's not for everyone.
Yeah, you're right. It appears that you and Hillary are like besties. That seems to be like your best friend, more so out of the group. I'm just curious, how did this come to be? Were you guys already friends and then somebody approached you and said, hey, this would make a great reality TV series?
You know what? It's been people have been trying to do a show in Palm Beach for a very long time. Many people, including myself. I tried to shoot my own sizzle reel and put it out there, sell it, and it didn't happen. And then we, when something is meant to be, it just is meant to be. And this serendipitously happened that I came across these producers and they're the only ones who were able to, get a show greenlit in the area of Palm Beach, because really everybody's been trying for years and years, because everybody wants to see the behind the scenes of this world.
When the show starts out, you go to Hillary's home, you present her with this amazing painting, which, by the way, that was very classy of you to even come with that type of a gift.
Thank you. Yeah. I agree. I wish any of them would reciprocate the things that I do, but not happening. She brought me a little change purse for my birthday. Oh.
Did she ever hang the painting? I know she had some issues. She felt like she looked fat in the painting.
She thought she looked fat, but she didn't look fat. She was wearing a fur coat.
That's what I thought. And she still has not put it up. She has not hung the painting.
No.
Wow.
What?
Watch that. It will probably be worth like a ton of money one day in the future, and she'll trash it somewhere.
Okay, well, we'll be hanging by her trash can to make sure that we get it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I need a friend like you. I mean, to get a painting commissioned, in your friend's likeness, and then they not want it, I couldn't believe that. I was so mad for you.
You know what? Everybody needs a friend like me. You are right. So I'm glad. Thank you for your observation.
You know what, Taza? Arms are open here in Chicago. If you ever want to come with a little gift, or just the gift of
I
want
to come and do an in-person interview. Absolutely.
Please. And we'll give you more than a coin purse, too.
Also, visit my website, Taja Drip, and you could see all about my business. I'm in wellness, hospitality, longevity, and, I'm located in the Faina Hotel in Miami Beach, my business. And if you're ever there, my business, come and stop by and get some wellness, longevity, and beauty treatments. But I would love to come see you ladies in person.
Absolutely. Yeah, they talk about that on the show too, that you have your own business. That's what I'm saying. Because some of these shows, the women are reliant solely on their husband's money. And in this show, you see a lot of women that, their husbands have some money, but they have their own thing going too.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm smart. I marry well. My husband is rich, but I'm self-made too.
Understood. And I love that for you. And all women really should take note. I'm going to be honest.
Absolutely.
They really should.
No, my mama taught me well, and you see my mother on the show. She taught me well to be independent. She taught me never to depend on a man, even though my husband is the best provider, but just in case.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody's watching right now, you haven't watched, make sure you go binge watch Members Only. Taza, it has been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, it's a great show.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to season 2. It's coming.
So
Me too.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence, being so glamorous.
I got to ask you this one thing before we let you go. Because the fashion is so supreme. You're seeing some stuff you've never seen before. What is the most expensive clothing item in your closet?
Oh, I actually have an outfit that is all Swarovski crystals, but like very, very, like the highest end of them. And it was like $25,000, this dress.
I need to be doing what Taza's doing. That's confirmed. I need to get like Taza for sure.
I'll take your hand-me-downs, Taza. Fine. I'll take them.
I don't know what size you wear, but you can sit in right on to Chicago.
I'll fit in. I'll make myself fit. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, ladies. It was so nice to chat. See you in person soon.
All right, we'll see you soon. So much fun. That show is a lot of fun. It is so much fun.
I love it.
And if nothing else, you get women that are bosses. I think that's always, inspiring to see. And then let's be honest, a lot of us watch it for the fashion, to see how they, how did they design their homes? How do they have everything laid out? And you'll be like, wow.
But again, like I mentioned in the interview, the reason why I kind of stepped away from reality TV is because it's like,
the fighting.
So toxic. Yeah. And I'm glad, at least for this first season, you're getting to know them. It seems like more than it is on like the relationships and stuff.
There's a little drama.
Well, but I mean,
people like drama. That's the reality. I mean, they say they don't. We've even tried it here in our newsroom. People say, oh, you guys always tell bad news. And then we put up a positive news on Fox32Chicago.com, and it's like out of the top 10, it's at the 10th spot of stories that have been viewed. So people say that, but a lot of people really do like drama. They do.
True.
And they like to see it in other people's lives versus their own.
But can we switch gears back to her like longevity and stuff, like what she does like for her career? I would love to know, if we could spend 10 more minutes with her, I would love to know like her top like 10 secrets.
Beauty secrets?
Yeah.
Well, she's into, her business is like a spa business.
Ooh, okay.
And I think it's like wellness, like fillers, Botox kind of business
Gotcha.
too. So I think that's probably part of it, which, you know, hey, I'm not gonna knock it. That's
I'm
all
not gonna knock it either.
No, I'm not gonna
money.
knock it. If you got that kind of money where you got a $25,000 dress in your closet, hey, baby, do you. You know, you're doing everything right. Maybe we're doing everything wrong.
Please. All right. Well, speaking of costs of things, we're actually talking about the hidden costs of being tracked online. Oh, I do too. I need a tan. That's what I need. Maybe a little vacation.
But I'm
Look how pasty I am. I mean, anyway.
Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can we talk about something serious here? The hidden costs of being tracked online. We're talking about it right after this very short break.
We'll be right back.
Are you struggling?
All right, welcome back to Chicago Now. Well, this is something kind of terrifying. Just because you deleted something doesn't mean it's gone forever. The things you get rid of online could still reappear later through scraping and data sharing. Well, we're talking about it this morning with Harry Moggins, data privacy expert and CEO of Privacy Bee. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is interesting. Do you feel like the normal everyday person does not know that just because they deleted something off Instagram that's from 10 years ago doesn't mean that it's gone forever?
It's not. There's so many companies out there scraping everything you do online. If you post it out there, it's being bought and resold and shared with other companies. And you have the ability to usually delete it from a single source. You can say, oh, I shouldn't have put my phone number on my Instagram profile, and you take it down. But usually by then, data brokers have already scraped it, pulled it into their ecosystem, and they're buying and selling it and sharing it across, you know, the kind of shady back end of the internet.
So in California, I know people can now request to have some of their stuff deleted. This is through a new state privacy platform called Drop. Tell us how it works, and is that available here in our state?
So Drop is awesome. It's the first really progressive step towards fighting back against the exploitation of these data brokers. California led the way in privacy. They have for a while. They started CCPA a number of years back, then CPRA, and a lot of other states, like 36, have followed their suit. The latest Delete Act has this Drop platform you mentioned, where a California resident can go, submit their information to it, and the state's platform will go out there and request deletion from about 500 data brokers. The problem is it's only available to California residents, which again is a very positive step, and it's somewhat limited because it's the first effort at fighting back against data brokers. So in Chicago and other places across the country, the same functionality is possible. You can Google yourself and you can find your home address, your cell phone number, your family, your relatives, all kinds of information exposed on you, which helps marketers. It enables criminals and bad guys to, create attacks against you, all kinds of risks associated with it. But yeah, in places like Chicago and non-California locations, they're still catching up. So it's either a manual process or finding a service like PrivacyBee to do it for you.
Not to get into the weeds too much, you mentioned PrivacyBee could do it for us if we're not in California. Obviously, we're in Illinois. But how do you manually do that? Like, is it a really complicated process to take some of that, maybe that picture when you do Google yourself, off of the search engine, the top of the search?
They try to make it difficult. It's actually easier than you think. Usually when you go to a data broker website, the first challenge is figuring out who they are. There's over 1,000 data brokers we track. New ones are popping up every single day. So it's truly a cat and mouse game. But when you go to one of their websites, they usually have a process they've built that allows a person to request deletion. It's an email, a form, you click a link, you follow these steps, whatever it is, and then it goes into a processing queue, and it can take, a few weeks to a few months, worst case, and they process it and they delete you from their website. The challenge is there's over 1,000 of them. You can Google yourself and find a handful of people search sites that are exposing you online. Most people have done that at some point. But if you only delete from one website, the challenge is it's kind of like photocopying some personal information about yourself and then mailing it out to 100 strangers and then shredding the document. After it's out there and it's being spread, you have to have more of a mass approach. And that's what the DROP Act in California was trying to do, to hit them all at once, to make it where you don't delete from one, they resell it to somebody else, and then sell it back to the original. And again, the cat and mouse game continues. And again, that's what PrivacyBee does. We scan them all, we find all the exposures, and we really maintain that privacy at scale.
I saw something last week. I don't know about you, Gabby, if you were one of these people, or if, in fact, Kiri, maybe you experienced this as well. But I have Instagram. We all do, right? And so I kept getting this message saying that somebody was requesting to change my Instagram password. Well, it turns out they're saying that hackers stole people's email addresses for Instagram and all of this. Tell me, in terms of that, what would data exploitation look like if somebody got their hands on that kind of information?
It's terrifying. A lot of times people are worried about ads tracking them around online, but the risk is really greater than that. The risk is you go on a creepy date, and the next morning you realize, oh wow, that person could Google my name and find out where I live and show up at my front door. Or you have stalkers, you have people who are victims of domestic abuse, you have scammers, people who are not in any kind of high risk industry. They're just everyday people. They one day get a call from a voice that sounds like a family member, and that family member is, it sounds like they're being kidnapped. You hear these scams on the news all the time. It's a horrible, terrifying thing. And your question about Instagram, it's not about being hacked anymore. If you go back 5-10 years ago, the criminals would try to hack into your account and get your password. Now criminals just go shopping. There's so much information. The roads and the pipes were paved for marketing, for advertising, but now they're being weaponized by the same people who used to try to crack your password. So yeah, they can send you a request to reset it, but they can also go on the dark web or data brokers and pay a couple dollars and get access to most of the context about your life that allows them to, craft these attacks. So personal privacy used to be a thing it's kind of an abstract concept. They didn't understand what the point of being private is. Saying, oh, I have nothing to hide. It's not about hiding. Privacy is about control. It's about protecting yourself in a increasingly dangerous world, especially with AI and cyber criminals on the rise.
Well, my next question is going to be how do you protect yourself? Because it's not like you can stop yourself from, giving out this information, because sometimes you need it to sign up for, some social media, or if you're shopping, or, making a,
I lie. Like if it asks me certain things, no, I do, because you never know where that information is going to end up.
But then at the same time, like you're putting your card information in and, you know, you have to put in your billing address and sometimes the payment won't go through if it's not the correct address, you know, things like that. So I guess big question is, how can you protect yourself at least a little bit?
There's no perfect solution, right? You know, you have to be online. You know, I guess the perfect solution is you move to a cabin in the middle of the woods and you never connect to the internet again, right? That's not realistic. So being smart is the #1 thing. I mean, before you know, take a survey to see which Harry Potter character you are on Facebook, is it really worth it to give, you know, your childhood home address and all this information about yourself? You know, probably not, right? Don't post your cell phone number and your email address on social media ever. There's no reason to share publicly. And those are really the anchor points that a lot of data brokers use to build this profile and this dossier on an individual, again, for marketing and oftentimes weaponized for cybercrime. They use those PII data points, personally identifiable information, to kind of create this profile on you. So just be smart what you post online. If you do post it online, or if you are filling out a credit card in an e-commerce store, again, you have to live. It's how the world works these days. Clean it up. Do your best to delete old accounts. If you don't shop at an e-commerce store anymore, you know, go back and delete the account. Don't let them just have access to your account forever. Google yourself, search online, go through your old emails, look at who's spamming you. Spam isn't guessing. They either bought your information from a data broker, or you gave them your information a long time ago for an account you may or may not need anymore. So fighting back, going through these exercises, obviously I'm biased. I think privacyb.com is the best way to do it. We fight night and day to protect people from these exploitations. And at the end of the day, it's kind of just thinking before you act, and then doing what you can to minimize your digital footprint online.
Tell me how Privacy B helps. If someone wants to delete kind of like their digital footprint, they don't know where to start, they go to Privacy B, how do you walk them through it?
It's a great question. We do it all for free. You know, when you first log in, well, the scanning. When we first log in, we'll scan the internet. We'll find all the places you're exposed. We'll try to figure out what data brokers are holding your information, either where we can find it publicly available and exposed and show you, hey, here, did you know your previous 3 addresses are right here on this website? You know, did you know that this account's still floating out there, or your social security number is right here for anybody to get it who you want it? It's all out there. We show it all for you, and then we give you free guides, step by step, exactly how you can clean it up yourself. We have deletion guides on every single one of these exposures where you can literally sit there, it takes time, and go through it and clean it all up yourself, and then come back the next month and start over. Or obviously our core business is a service that does that for individuals automatically, to identify all the exposures on them, keep them protected, and then keep that monitoring layer going 24/7, 365.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
I'm just curious. So, like in the state of Illinois, right? If you're a person, you find out you go through Privacy B, you find out you have all this stuff out there for you. Is this a situation where you can clean it up online, or do you have to go old snail mail and mail letters out to people?
Pretty much everything's online now, which is fantastic. Occasionally you hit roadblocks where data brokers will try to make it hard to remove, and we have escalation teams, and it's a constant battle again, where they don't want to delete your information, because that's their business model. They make money by selling your information. So they're always changing the processes. They're always trying to add new hoops to jump through and fight back. But at the end of the day, most of them will comply, especially because the legislation is getting stronger. You mentioned California earlier. Again, over half the states in the US have some kind of legislation. Even globally, there's a lot of pressure on privacy. These data brokers aren't wanting to separate, well, Illinois has these laws, California has these laws, you know, Colorado has these. It's too much work. So oftentimes, if you go through their process, you submit their form, you hit the email address right, you actually say, hey, please delete me, stop selling my information, they usually honor it and they comply regardless where you are, Illinois or otherwise.
Interesting. Okay. Very good to know all of this. All right. Harry, one more time for people who are interested maybe in Privacy B, or maybe just more information about this topic in general, where can they go?
Privacyb.com. B like the insect, B-E-E. It's a, you know, even if you don't sign up, even if you just go to scan yourself for free, figure out what's out there, gain awareness for where you're exposed, learn the risks, and then you can make your own decision on how much effort to clean it up, and see kind of what the bad guys see, kind of putting yourself in the shoes of a potential criminal or spammer, scammer, stalker, hacker, whatnot.
I think after hearing this on Chicago Now, I think a lot of people are going to be interested because this is really important, and sometimes it goes, hidden under the carpet because you don't think that you're that vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Harry. We appreciate it. CEO of Privacy Bee. We will have you back again, just for a reminder for people.
I appreciate you having me, really. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, coming up, we are talking to a local comedian who goes in the bathroom for you. We're talking the public bathrooms in Chicago. We'll be right back.
Oh, boy.
People don't talk about society and
Tonight we're at Steppenwolf in the downstairs women's bathroom. This is a multi-stall bathroom, and while it does have vacancy indicators, the walls do not go all the way up to the ceiling. It has a coat hook, but automatic flush, as well as automatic sink and soap dispensers, but it does have hand towels. Overall, 6 out of 10.
It was clean. We'll give them an A for that. Yeah, it was pretty clean. Okay, so this is a local comedian who's with us right now. This is Courtney Zelazny, who decided to start reviewing Chicago bathrooms, putting it on social media, and this has really exploded. First of all, thank you so much for being with us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
What in the heck? That's the one place most people dread going in the public.
And how long have you been doing this?
It'll be a year in February.
What made you start doing this?
It's, I think, really important to know where the good bathrooms are. My dad is from Manhattan and my mom is from the South Side, and so growing up with people who are city people, knowing where you can go into the bathroom when you're out and about, when you're in the city, is, I think, an important asset for people.
No, Courtney, this is so important, actually, because there's nothing that turns me off more, when you go into a bar or restaurant and it's just like wet toilet paper on the ground, there's that little bit of smell. You're like, why is it wet? Is it because the toilet overflowed?
Or is it
because someone had an accident? So interesting. Overall, to start things off, would you say that Chicago has pretty clean bathrooms?
Yes, I think Chicago does have pretty clean bathrooms. I've gone and reviewed in Miami and other cities as well, which have all been very decent, but when you get a stinker, you get a stinker.
I gotta ask you because, being that most of my career has been a reporter on the streets, that's the one thing you're looking for that's not readily available is a bathroom. And oftentimes for us, I'll tell you, I won't name drop them because they're not advertising on our show, but there is one coffee chain that typically has the best bathrooms that we've gauged. Yeah, over the years. I'm curious, out of all the bathrooms you've gone through, first of all, how many?
I've, on my TikTok so far, reviewed over 50. I think it's probably about 55 right now.
Wow. Can you give us the top 3 bathrooms to your liking, and what was it that scored them the perfect 10? Was there any with the perfect 10?
Yes, one has a perfect 10. I actually did a little bit of a year in review on my TikTok recently, and the one that scored a perfect 10 was actually the first bathroom I ever reviewed. So maybe there's a bit of like excitement bias there in that review, but it was the bathroom at the ground floor restaurant of the Hoxton Hotel.
Okay.
It's got floor-to-ceiling windows, vacancy indicators on those floor-to-ceiling doors, vacancy indicators on the bathroom stalls. It has hand lotion. It has nice thick paper towels. All the things that I'm looking for in a dream public bathroom.
You're saying H-U-X-T-O-N, Huxton?
Hoxton, in West Loop.
Hoxton, okay.
I'm curious, have you ever wanted to go review a bathroom? Because some of these places are like, you got to buy something to go in our bathroom. Have you ever run into a situation where they're like,
nope? Is that part of your criteria too?
It's not necessarily part of my criteria, but I've never gone to a place just for the purpose of reviewing a bathroom. I've always been like, oh, I'm going to this restaurant, so I will also review the bathroom.
That's pretty cool because it's gotten you out of your house too, because it forces you to go to different places.
And people listening too, because then you can also talk about the food, what you're having and stuff like that. Beyond the bathroom, because I'm seeing some like pretty cool places that you've been. Is there a favorite restaurant that you have? Let's get that out of the way too.
Ooh,
away from the bathroom.
Away from the bathroom. Well, this restaurant did rank very highly in the bathroom reviews, but outside of that, I really loved Boonies. It's a Filipino restaurant, and I went there with my boyfriend, and they had this amazing crispy pork shank. It was just delicious.
I love that. We got to go try that place. Have you walked into a bathroom and it's been a crazy situation when you walked in, and what happened?
Yes, absolutely. I have a couple that come to mind in particular, but one was a bar that I went to for a friend's birthday. It was a karaoke place, very damp, as you noted, and there was one stall that had no door on it and just like a big black plastic trash bag over the toilet. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna use the other bathroom actually. I'm gonna go across the hall and not use this one.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the comments given you an explanation why things are so wet? Is it usually like a plumbing issue? Is it like, I'm confused. Is it someone who's mopped and then it just doesn't get aerated?
No one has tried to give me an explanation for that. I do have a lot of people in my comments who have very strong opinions on bathrooms as well. But in terms of explanations, I think the only thing that I have that comes to mind is when we get into the winter weather with Chicago, people are tracking in probably a little bit of snow and slush. And that helps me sleep at night, is to think that that's probably what it is.
Versus anything else. Absolutely.
Thank you for mentioning that, because maybe that's the mindset I need to go in with too. Might be.
So let me ask you, in terms of the bathrooms, what is the worst bathroom? You don't have to name what bathroom it was, but was it the one with the trash bag, or has there been something way worse than that?
That one was the worst one for sure. And then the one that I think otherwise comes to mind is an ice cream shop over by one of the theaters where I do stand-up comedy, and there was no coat hook. It was very narrow, so difficult to move around. I'm not a very large person, and still, if there was anyone even bigger than I was to be able to use that bathroom, that would be really difficult. The lighting was bad, it felt dirty, and I was just like, this is supposed to be a cute ice cream shop. Why is the cuteness not infused into the bathroom experience too?
I'm curious, as a stand-up comedian, what made you decide to go in this lane?
Honestly, the first thing that came to mind was the name. The name was a pun, and then the pun sort of built upon itself. Cago being a Spanish word for defecation, if you will.
You could say it quickly.
Okay, it's called Chicago. And I thought of the pun first, and I was like, well, this has legs, and I have to do it now. If I don't do it as soon as I think about it, then someone else is going to come up with this idea, and someone else is going to do it.
Let's talk about your stand-up in general. Like, tell us about like your journey through stand-up, how long you've been doing it, where can people usually catch you?
Yeah, sure. I started doing stand-up really seriously when I moved to Chicago during the pandemic. It was about like July of 2021, and I got started because I had a background in acting, but I didn't know how to meet with directors and go on auditions, having just moved here. And so I thought, you know, stand-up, that's a place where you're just responsible for yourself. You can go to an open mic and it's not really about anybody else. So that's how I got started in it, and now people can see me all over the country. I travel for it, but I also produce a show here in Chicago at the Lincoln Lodge, which is a nonprofit comedy theater, and I also am performing in a sketch show right now called A Fitness Carol, which is performing at the DeMott.
Okay, wow.
I love that. How would you describe your comedy? How would you describe yourself as a comedian?
As a comedian, I like wordplay. I like situational, observational comedy. I like things that are sort of a little bit more thoughtful, a bit of a second thought, which I think probably comes a little bit from my upbringing. My parents are a little bit more conservative, and so they love when I can tell a joke that doesn't have swearing or tell a joke that isn't a bit too sexual.
I love it. You know what? I think more comedians try to do that, and they kind of fail because they're just so used to the inappropriateness of their joke. They need to get their head out of the gutter or out of the bathroom, right?
Out of the toilet?
Yeah, you know, I'm just not funny. Also, that probably has to be the hardest thing to do is stand up. I mean,
because with people, you never know how the joke is going to land with people.
Come on, like it seems terrifying.
And I so appreciate when people say that it seems terrifying, because to me, I'm afraid of like drowning, like things that could actually be dangerous. The worst thing that happens if I tell a joke and it doesn't land is that then people immediately forget about it, and then I have to deal with the inner shame. Like, that's the worst consequence.
Have you ever had a situation, because now we live in a world where everybody has an opinion, right? Especially in the audience too. Have you ever had to deal with a crazy heckler?
Not necessarily a crazy heckler, but I have done heckle-based mics where the audience will try and talk back to you. And I think that, thankfully, I've done enough improv training to be able to have that conversation, sort of dish it back to them.
Good, because some people need it.
I need to go back to the bathroom situation, because like what is your... Can I tell you? Maybe Tia can chime in too. This is how I go into the bathroom. I see first, okay, what one is less wet, right? That's number one. Hopefully, there's tissue on the floor. You know, there might be a stain in the toilet too. I'm always, I'm getting graphic. I cover the toilet seat. I even do it, you guys. I'm really particular. I even do it at people's houses sometimes.
I do too.
I'm that grossed out. So would I be a good person to have as a cameo on your thing? Or are you kind of like, you're taking it on, you're being brave? And
I absolutely would love to have you as a cameo, especially if there's like a particular bathroom here in the studio that you were like, this is my one very safe bathroom. But I do have one. It's good to know. I have one in my office too. But outside of that, I mean, when I'm looking for bathrooms, I'm not looking at it with the intention of being brave. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm providing a service to people who are interested. And if someone is anxious about going to a new place, for example, they've never been to a bar or a restaurant before, and they're like, what's the bathroom situation like there? I can give them some information.
How nice of you, Courtney. You're doing the God's work. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Line the toilet, stand up. That's my rule. All right. Well,
do a squat, but clean up after you squat.
Yes.
And that's part of the reason that you put on the toilet paper in the first place. Courtney, where can people find you?
People can find me on TikTok or Instagram at Courtney Zelazny. That's Zelazny. It's a Polish last name. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for having me.
It was great.
I always laugh like asking people that question, because they're probably, everyone usually takes it with stride, but I'm like, wait, they might actually think, where can they find her? I don't know.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Coming up, we are talking to two people that apparently have one of the ugliest houses in America.
And I don't think it's true.
It's not. We'll be right back.
10 minutes. And you know what? I might arguably say the best 10 minutes because you're looking at the biggest HGTV fan, plus Fox 32 Chicago fan, because if I'm not watching HGTV, I'm watching literally all of our shows on Fox Chicago. Anyways, that being said, HGTV's Ugliest House in America, you might have heard of it because it is pretty ear-catching, is about to feature a local house that we think deserves a better title than what was given. We talked about this last week. It's not fair. Joining us are the owners, couple Joe Bergantino and Ricky Gonzalez. Thank you two for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Tell us about the show. If people aren't familiar, how does it work? And then also tell us your reaction to hearing that this was for the ugliest house in America.
So the way that it works is you have to apply to a casting call just for some funky, crazy looking houses. Oh, you got real pictures of it, messy.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go through some interview processes, send them some photos, a video tour through, and they really buried the lead about what this show was called and what it was about. Every time we asked, they okay, but you have a chance at being selected for a full renovation and stuff like that. And so they really just kind of buried it, and we left.
So, yeah, eventually she goes, so the show, and this is not like an attack on you. We love you and we love your house. The show is called The Ugliest House in America. And I'll tell you what I told you, for 150 grand, you can call me ugly. You can call my husband ugly, especially him.
So wait a minute.
For free, actually.
So you walked into this not knowing that this would be for the ugliest house in America.
Right.
What do you think of your home? What do you make of your home? And when did you buy it?
So we've been here just over 4 years now. So I think the 4-year anniversary was actually the air date of the episode.
Of the first episode, yeah.
We love the exterior. We actually just repainted all the colors, the same outside. The inside obviously needs some work, and we've been doing that ourselves on our Homos with Hammers Instagram. But we love it. Yeah, it's a work in progress, but hey, a chance of being selected might be fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, I love it. Was it called a Candyland house or something like that? Do I remember hearing last week?
So yeah, that's what it's been called in the neighborhood for a long time. But also, recently, in the past 6 months, we found out that that's what it's called. The city calls it that in some of their official documentation. It's just very funny. It's not officially registered as anything, but it's very well known as the Candyland house.
So have they started the renovations already, or are they done? Oh, you can't say. You can't say. But I think they're done.
We've started renovations. We've been renovating for 4 years.
Because Homos with Hammers, I love the title. Tell us about what you guys do on the side. Are you just working on this house, or are you working on another house too?
No. We are not house flippers. We actually bought a house. We bought this house. And it didn't meet any of our criteria because we didn't want to do a big renovation.
Yeah.
But by the time we walked through and did it, we kind of fell in love. And so we try to do 1 or 2 big projects a year. So one of the first things we did was cut down all of the trees that were on the property because they were all growing out of the foundation. Then shortly thereafter, we did our kitchen. And that was a big labor of love that took almost a full year.
So as a fan of the show, I've watched Ugliest House in America. They go to all these different houses that go inside, show you why it's so quote unquote ugly, and then they pick the winner. When they came to film at your house, maybe you can't talk about all the filming process and all that. Obviously, if you're selected or not, we got to keep watching. But what was it? What did they think? What was the reaction of the crew when they stepped outside of your house?
We did ask the crew, because we've been living here, at that point we've been living here for over 3 years, right? And you start to go blind to it. It starts to seem doesn't everybody have glitter on every single wall? Isn't that just normal? So at some point, we're recording and we turn to the director and we're is our house really that bad compared to, you've seen 100 houses, is it really that bad? And he goes, yeah. But the crew was actually delightful. We had a great time. We did a Chicago handshake with them and introduced some of them to Malort. I don't know how I'm supposed to be.
Whoops. I thought it back on that one.
We had a great time with the crew. Retta was fantastic. It was such a great experience. Yeah. Whether we win or not, we had a very good time.
Yeah.
You know what? I do love Brenna. She's a really good host. She's fun. Is there one thing that they picked out of your house that you could tell us that they thought was extra weird?
Or ugly.
Or ugly, I
I think this
guess.
is really relevant with your last guest.
Yeah.
And we'd like to invite her to come do a review in our main bedroom.
Courtney, you're welcome to come visit.
We have
She
what
would
we
probably
like to
take you
call
up
the
on that.
open concept bathroom. It's very dry, so she doesn't have to worry about the wetness issues. But we do have there's no walls. So the attic is finished and there are no walls, and that includes no walls to the bathroom. So there's kind of just a toilet sitting in the middle of the room.
Kind of, yeah.
So that is definitely the peak of ugly weirdness in this house.
Well, you know what? She wouldn't complain about having no room in the bathroom like she did with that one spot.
That's true.
So, you know what? She has plenty of room in there.
There's a whole floor.
When we were looking to buy it, we asked our realtor, does this count as a bedroom or does it count as a bathroom? Because there's no walls. You know, how do you decide?
When you went to look at homes, though, now that because I don't think your house is the ugliest house in America. I think it's interesting. When you went to look at homes, what was it about this house that you're like, okay, this is the one for us?
It let us kind of break all of the rules that we set for ourselves in our last house, which was black, beige, white, gray. And so when we came into this old Victorian that was a real painted lady, we said, you know what? There's really no rules. We could throw out the playbook and we could have a lot of fun on this. And we've been putting up wallpaper in our bar that has monkeys throwing cakes and shoes at people. It's stuff that we never thought we would do. We're incorporating and it's hilarious.
Joe,
Yeah,
Ricky,
really.
I love it. You guys are going to be the new spectacle of Rogers Park. People are going to be like, driving by your house.
Honestly,
you guys
it
in
won't
the
be a
Home
new
Alone
spectacle.
house.
This house has been a spectacle for 40 years. Yeah.
Are
In
people
the best
driving
way,
by
in the
now?
best way possible.
Have you seen
What's that?
people kind of cruising by, like looking?
Yeah. Yesterday we were watching. We were walking in from the store, and some guy was like, "Hey, isn't this that house from TV?" And we're like, "Yep, this is it."
So it's going to be.
Really do.
It's going to be a stop at the Home Alone house, and it's going to be a stop at the Candyland house.
We really do enjoy the people stopping to take photos in front of the house. I will just put a disclaimer, please stop knocking on the door. We can't give you tours.
Yeah, that's
We also have day jobs, so like we are
Oh.
busy all day too.
Well, we thank both of you for joining us. This was fun.
This was.
We got to come check you guys out in person. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, you call ahead and you're welcome.
We'll do that. We'll call ahead.
For us.
Consider it done. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching us on this Monday. It's been a good Monday.
It has been.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Have a great day.
I got hurt in a car accident and some